Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review of Captain America issue 750. Ooh, big milestone issue. And this is $7.99, so that's a big beefy kind of one. So you should be a Cat fan for this. And the thing is, this one is kind of weird. I enjoyed it and I liked the Sam one that we got in this one very much. The Steve one that we got, now granted, it's pretty much getting us more over the hump to get a more lead into the Captain America finale that we're going to be getting in August. And then we get some ones that detail with Sam and Steve. Now, milestone issues I look at differently than other ones. Usually when I think of a milestone issue, it should be certain kind of stories or a central kind of story that locks into the character and gets into the character's kind of details. Now, the ones that we get at the end that focus on Steve and Sam really work to that effect. They accomplish that. That's usually the kind of like little ones that I really like and really delve into the characters. Sam's one I liked as well because that worked out pretty well. Steve's is just a continuation of what we usually have gotten from the Captain America Sentinel of Liberty with the whole Cold War thing. So I'm like, all right. And I thought that I think that milestone issues should really just examine and kind of celebrate the history of certain kind of characters a little bit more than the objective wise of what this kind of one goes on. Sam's at least delves into the important bits that we've gotten from Symbol of Truth and explaining why he took up the shield again. That's important. That's still a celebration and understanding of Captain America and Sam as Captain America. So that one, yes, that works. That fits in my usual kind of stuff with the milestone one. Steve's focusing on like Roger Aubrey and then the kind of like tying up as most of the kind of stuff from the run to set up for the finale is kind of weird to me, but I kind of have to do it. And then there's like no kind of stuff for like Bucky's kind of mantle taking or like John Walker's addition to the legacy, other people that have been Captain America and looking into that. So even though Steve and Sam are like my favorite ones, or the ones that I really like and have been reading a lot into, Bucky definitely needed at least stuff to go into more. And when I'm like thinking that United States of Captain America did kind of a better kind of thing of like a milestone thing of looking at Cap's history and his importance into the Marvel Universe, then this one, it's kind of weird. Not that this fails at all, it's just it doesn't achieve kind of what I think a milestone should. And I know that's kind of weird to kind of talk about. So, we start off with Sam's story at Trinity Church Cemetery, Harlem, several months ago, as he's talking with his parents' grave of why he's pretty much taking it up, as we see 5 hours earlier, as we see them showing off his shield, which I love the design of his shield. It's really awesome. And then Misty's like, you have a tone. You will not ever be able to fool me, as he's like saying, I don't have a tone. I meant what I said. It is beautiful, but it better not be for me. The Captain's Network business is over. That was a temp job. Being Falcon, on the other hand, that's a full-time gig. And don't tell me I don't have a choice. She just sprung it on me. No warning, no nothing. Told me to come see her at a place upstate. Must have been some sort of safe house for her East Coast operations. Had a different design too. New stripes, a star with wings. Wasn't any type of birthday present. I don't think she meant it as a gift either. To be honest, I still have no idea what she meant by it, as we see him discussing it with his parents and him discussing it with Misty. Saying he does have a choice. Why he's got an attitude with her. I'm sorry, Misty, it's just, what is this? It's yours, Sam. That's what this is. Mine to do what with? As she says, be Captain America. And that's always interesting because I do like how this covers someone being like, for you to be Captain America, and then someone accepting that choice, and if they feel that they can handle it, and if they want to do that. And I like Sam kind of debating it. That's the strength of this, of him understanding it. Captain America, that's what she said, like it was the easiest thing in the world. And of course she wants him to talk about it. It's like, yes, it's hard to talk about that stuff. What's this about? It's about some sort of backlash, all that not my Captain America shit, because how could any of that possibly matter? Is it about, why? Why now? Why now? You want to know what I was thinking when I asked that question? I was thinking of you, his parents. Why now? Because the water's ready. Sam, what's wrong? How could I tell her what was wrong when even I didn't know? And that happens sometimes. Sometimes you're thinking of things and you don't even know what's kind of eating at you. I needed to know what had changed. What was suddenly so different that I needed to do this? I was fine, right? I was doing my job and doing it well. I was enough without the shield. Would I be enough with it? And him thinking about that way, I definitely get and understand. And that's a hard thing. Like, you never answered my question, why now? And then she gets the shield and slams it down. Because now is when it was made. And then she goes into what kind of goes on with it. This isn't just about you, Sam. This is about us. This is about all the people who came together to make this thing for you. For you. It's not just me, it's all of us. All of us who decided that this is your time. This is the time. This is your time. This is the part where you start telling me about how symbols matter, about why it's important to have a black man holding the shield, a black man representing America because he's the guy the downtrodden look up to and find hope in. This a black thing? And she's like, no, it's not. This is about being Sam fucking Wilson. I'm like, yeah, because, yeah, even though there is that stuff that factors into it, but it's like, no, you said all of us earlier. Who's all of us? And that's when she told me the names. All of them. And I fucking love this. Because it wasn't just any old. It's like, T'Challa supplied the vibranium. Tony molded the design. Thor used his hammer. And I used mine. It ain't just me in that shield. It's everyone. It's like all these people. It's like, yeah. Because he's not just friends with Steve and Misty and all that. He's friends with these guys as well. Sharon, Pietro, Carol, Monica, heck, even Mayor Luke Cage. That's kind of crazy. I love that. Misty, Natasha, Misty, I said, Gideon, Jody, Sarah, Steve, they all said the same thing. The same thing. You need to do this. Damn it, Sam, just take the shield. It's like, that just goes to show that this wasn't just a one-off thing that just meant, hey, I fucking had a mold around. I made a motherfucking shield for you. What do you want? No. They fucking planned this shit. And she's crying and asking, why won't you take the shield? And then, of course, he's crying, talking to his parents, saying, you want to know what I said? What if I lose it again? And that's powerful, and I totally get that. Like, I get that. You and I both know this isn't forever. Captain America represents everyone, but he isn't everyone. Time's going to come when I'm going to have to hang it up, and I don't know that I'm going to be ready to do that. It's always harder to lose something than to not have it in the first place. And I fucking get that from Sam. Okay? Like, this, I get that. It makes me feel for him, and I'm like, I get that. But Misty comes up with a great point. Sam, you know why this isn't forever? Because none of us are forever. But until we kick the bucket, we fight. We do what's asked of us. We serve until we're finished. Sam, someone's outside. And that's the thing. We do it, and we carry it until we're done. And then, hopefully, others carry it on in our place. As we then see that people blast in, and we don't even know what's going on, really. As Misty's like, to be continued, a grenade pops up, and we see the whole reason, like, he's like, run, as he gets the shield and uses it to knock the grenade back, as we get a giant explosion, which, granted, I love the artwork style. I've loved the art that they've had for Sam's run, Symbol of Truth, and this just continues it to a high degree. And kaboom! And I know, like, do a good explosion like that. And then we see Sam like, oh shit. And then we see a sniper that says God, and he's like, no you don't! As he's able to block it with the shield and then bashing in. Sam, the alley-oop! As he uses the shield well, and then alley-oops her as she's kicking ass and taking names. I think that's all of them, Sam. All of them. So Sam, as I was saying, no need, you win, as he's got the smile on his face with the shield. Still don't know who they were. Could have been the Hand. Could have been from Madripoor. Could have just been some guys who had no idea what they'd run into. Doesn't matter. They proved Misty's point. Truth is, I wanted this. I want this. But I worried it would change me. I guess what I really wanted in the end was your permission to go wherever this journey would take me. So thank you, Mom, Dad. Thank you for making me the man who could do this. The man who could be Captain America. As that ends. Right. That's a good one right there. So then we shift over to nothing but a fight. Let's see. Cup of tea, that was that, and then nothing but a fight. So now we're to Sentinel of Liberty bits, as that we're almost there. The end's in sight. At least that's what this thing says. GPS is all wonky. It's because we're late, Hudson. They're already inside. Don't know. Guy smells fishy to me. I'm still thinking this whole thing's a setup. Mia, you're saying Steve Rogers came out of extra-dimensional hiding to fly a bunch of comrades from Lower Manhattan, prefers the terms friends, Arlo, all the way to jolly old England so he could, what, tell us we're going to meet a bunch of super people and then not deliver? That doesn't sound like him. I'm with Amari. Not really a Steve Rogers play. I promise me, it's not a put-on. Truth is, these past few months have been some of the hardest of my life. Today, of all days, I needed some friends. After all, I mean, just look. There aren't many comrades left. As we see that this is the funeral for Roger. As we see all these people. And I love this artwork as well. Art's phenomenal. And I just loved that page. We see who would like to say a few words as we see people talking about Roger. Ghost Girl, that Roger always loved her. Ghost, Aaron Fisher. He was an elder and a true icon. We got Jim Hammond. In a century of war, he was the most resilient fighter I've ever encountered. Pam from Radio Company, that was wonderful with puzzles and so funny. Namer, he was gorgeous. I'm like, ha ha ha. At least that worked out with Namer. That's definitely something. Lorraine saved my life twice. Never let me forget it either. That definitely sounds like him. We got Cotton Marble. Roger Aubrey served without rank or qualification, just guts. Peggy Carter, I don't. It's just Nick Fury's. And I said, Roger, you've been alive 100 years. I don't care how much you can bench press. You still smell like old people. It's like, what the fuck? That's definitely a thing to say. Captain Wings, he was the wind beneath my... Oh, God. Oh, Roger. Thank you, Roger, for everything from the Silver Scorpion. And then Sharon, he was a fucking mess. She only knew him for a week, but that much I can tell you for sure. Because he knew it, he accepted it, and he lived it every ounce of his being. For 100 years, people tried to tell Roger Aubrey what he was and what he wasn't. You can be a hero, but you can't love another man. You can be a crusader, but you'll never be Union Jack. You can be old, but you can't be fierce. It was like looking into a mirror, and it's kind of cool that Sharon understands that kind of stuff and kind of empathizes with him. You'll never be one of the boys, you'll never run the agency, you'll never be an Avenger, you're dismissed. They tell you what you can't do, and something in you wants to believe them. But that which tried to rule Roger Aubrey, he destroyed, and I refuse to let that die. After all, Destroyer's not a name. As for some reason, they deemed it necessary for Sharon to like have her kind of Destroyer thing kind of come up, and for her to reveal herself as the Destroyer. It's a promise. It's like, alright, weird thing, but okay. So I like the characterization of Sharon, but they make her do the weirdest fucking shit, like carry around a skull and be like, I'm gonna fight Peggy Carter with a skull on my head and say I'm the Destroyer with a Neganite bat. Alright, and now she's kind of got a Neganite baton. Now get it! The artwork for it, I love the design, I like the mask popping up, all that stuff. It's just like, alright. And it's one I'm gonna keep. We get Steve popping up that it's a tough act to follow. That Roger always hated his speeches. Words never did the Nazis any harm. Just use your fists and be done with it. But the man had a secret, and that he loved poetry. And that he found one from his study. Page 73 seemed to be a favorite, so I thought I'd take a chance on Roger's taste for once. As we then see them pretty much bury him. As Steve recites the poem. Gone are the days of beauty, and we'll miss them not, for beauty was a lie. Gone are the days of heroes, and we'll miss them lesser still, for heroes were a comfort. Dead forever are the days of triumph, and we'll rejoice to be rid of them, for triumph was a mask. These are the days we have, brushed gold with history and crimson caked, and they are nothing but a fight. As we have Roger Aubrey, a man of love and destroyer of hate, 1919 to 2023. As we then see the Star Point coming up, talking to Steve, being like, can we have a word? The poem was beautiful. I'm glad you liked it, redacted. You should read more. I bet you'd find better. That's what we wanted to talk to you about. And then he's like talking about what MODOK did, what they saw. We're an assembly, but what we were and what we are must be different things. They're what we choose, and choice must be made of knowledge. We have decided to be an I, and I would like to travel, to learn about this world, to find my place in it, which is cool. You know, there's a word for that. It's nice to finally meet you, Nomad, as that was actually a pretty kind of cool way to be like, alright, Redacted is Nomad now. I'm good with that. Then we see Peggy trying to kind of like figure out how to kind of handle this, as the rest of the kind of network are like, you could have just asked to borrow the umbrella. An old friend of our Roger's getting soaked and she doesn't have to go through the rain alone. Don't suppose either of you know a good pub around here. Oh, we know a little something about everything, Peggy Carter. Welcome to Radio Company, old girl. Just puzzles, number stations, and high-stakes bingo. Don't you worry, we'll make a real spy out of you yet. And then we get Steve and Bucky going through their kind of stuff. So they go through a tree. Bucky's like, it was a beautiful service. Surprised you could see from the shadows. My name was left off the guest list for good reason, Bucky, and you know it. And you know they can see you out here, the outer circle. That was an unnecessary risk, so the outer circle is still in play, which is kind of weird. I understand that you need to bury him and all that, but it's like, alright. Bucky calling it an unnecessary risk, but Bucky would understand. Like, it's really kind of weird. Like, I understand conflict between Steve and Bucky can pop up, especially because of what he's gone through as the Winter Soldier, but this is just more like, alright. Steve's like, there's nothing unnecessary about celebrating a friend. As for the circle, let them come. That's what you wanted, isn't it? To go to war with me in your pocket, using Ian as leverage to get our vengeance? It's not vengeance I'm after. And as for Ian, I never wanted him to be a pawn in this. But they did, so I got there first. Don't you get it, Steve? You're their greatest enemy, and he's your greatest weakness. Loving my son isn't a weakness. Agreed. Then call it an extreme tactical disadvantage. And granted, I understand Bucky's fucked up, but he's wielded the shield. He would not think of it like this. I mean, his love for his friends, for Steve, he took up the mantle to honor Steve. So weird. Because all it takes is a gun to his head and your reason flies out the window. You'll do anything to protect your boy. But now, he's a king, son of Rogers, Carter, and Zola. No one is going to use him against you ever again. Everything that happened in Dimension Z, I wasn't winning the game. I was just playing defense, taking the pieces they wanted most off the board. Because if I hadn't, we would have already lost. Ian is out. Ian is out. I promise. It's like, all right. Well, that's good. As they then pretty much inch together, and Bucky's like, I'm sorry. For Roger, for Ian, hell for the bullet. Bucky, stop. I've had enough of the apology game. It's time for the truth. You're not sorry you put my son in danger. Putting him in danger was the key to your plan, and your plan, as much as I hate it, was a good one. And you didn't get Roger killed. Roger sacrificed himself to save lives. His choice, not yours. Okay then, why is this still broken? Because you left me. And the thing is, it's like, there are other better ways for this to have gone down. First time we met, you were the smug kid with a silly outfit, and you looked at me like I was the best thing since sliced bread. But that kid saved my life more than I ever saved his. It wasn't the serum that made me invincible, Bucky. It was you. Then you made me give up on you. You made me fight alone. Excuse me, Mr. Rogers? It's like, yeah, I get that, having that kind of strain. I just wish it was executed better. Sir, I'm not going to lie, your timing isn't great. And the dude's like, I understand, but this will only take a moment. You'll never see me again. My name is Andrew Agboji. And then, of course, the doctor was his great-grandfather. He survived, kept quiet about his time at the forge. But he had a son, who then had 2 daughters, and one of them was my mother. Well, he probably saved the world, the dude's telling him. Thank you, but I don't think he thought so. He carried a lot of guilt for the shield when you went into the ice. He thought it was over. You see, great-grandfather really wasn't really a memento kind of man. Like I said, he moved a lot and took many names. But when he died, he did leave his son one thing. To the man who has the shield, when the circle is in the sky, as we see that as on the letter. Then we see, for years, we've all wondered what the circle in the sky meant, but then those videos from New York, it seemed pretty clear. I don't know what's inside, I don't want to know, but whatever it is, my great-grandfather wanted you to finish what he started, as they then see that that is the Shadow Capital. Even though it's covered in like advanced technology, the system remains unchanged, which is fucking stupid beyond any and all belief, but we need a Death Star weakness. We've got a Death Star weakness, which means the core of the technology, this is it. Like the number station, it all runs right here into this circular nexus, a circular nexus 30 inches wide, which this shield is like probably a kill switch. It's like, alright. I mean, sure. Alright, the shield was built as a kill switch. Kind of weird. I mean, you can put up secret kind of stuff for the shield. It's just like, alright. That's what he was trying to build. That's what the shield really is. A way to take down the whole damn thing. A revolution. Steve, from the bottom of my heart, I am sorry for what I put you through, for causing you to doubt me, for making you doubt yourself. But my belief in you has never been shaken. You are, and always will be, the best man I know, the model by which I lead my life. I am sorry I hurt you, and I will make it right. It's like, alright, cool, let's do that. But listen up, Skinny, because I have something you need to hear. Hear and never doubt, and never forget. As long as I'm alive, you'll never fight alone. As we see that Steve had a tear as they then hug, and then this will be finished in Captain America Finale Issue 1. So I will be getting that, so we'll see how that kind of works out. Now we get all the rest of the ones that kind of deal with Sam and Steve. So we see Reflections, where Sam is asked to speak at high school. And there's our special guest today. He should be used to giving speeches by now. They go hand in hand with the shield, but as my mother often said, the best advice comes from being completely honest about your life experiences. Please give a warm welcome to our very own Sam Wilson, Captain America. And I'm going to do just that. Congratulations to each of you for graduating and everything. Yeah. Let me see. She says, I stand before you as someone you may think has always been sure of himself, but that's not true. There were moments when I doubted my abilities and my self-assurance faltered. I want to share a story with you I haven't shared with many. And then going into the explanation of how he got on the Avengers. My first time as an Avenger was a time ripe with questioning my worth as a competent hero. I've already proven myself, and I don't like being chosen because the Avengers need to fill a quota. And he's saying this to Steve. I know it's a raw deal, Sam. Please trust me when I tell you that this is about more than a quota. I believe you to be more than capable. Alright, Cap. Alright, Cap. I'm only doing this as a favor to you, though. And that completely makes sense. I was offered a spot on the team due to a government mandate, which put me in an uncomfortable position. Hawkeye, I want you to know I'm sorry for taking your place. Save it, Falcon. Just know you'll never be more of an asset to the Avengers than me. At least I earned my spot. And that, of course, is harsh from Hawkeye as things start going down. And he's like, what Hawkeye said shouldn't have bothered me, but it did. I found myself overcompensating in the hopes of keeping anyone else on the team from questioning my abilities. This began to take a toll on me mentally. I was losing sight of the reason I wanted to be a hero in the first place. I should have done more to show I could hold my own in battle. And putting like that position, I totally get that. And and that was to defend those who couldn't defend themselves. I got you, ma'am, as he's taking on Grey Gargoyle? Yeah. Ultimately, when the time came, I made the decision to leave the team. I'm resigning. What? Sam, why? I was only here because of a government quota that no longer exists. It's been interesting, but I was never much of a group person anyway. Sorry you feel that way, Sam. If you made your decision, we'll honor it. As he then leaves the Avengers, which is kind of nutty because of reading all the times that he's come back and everything, but it's an important kind of bit. That night I left the team. It wasn't for them, but for me. Yes, I did deserve to be an Avenger. That was never truly in question. But I wanted to become Avenger the same way I became a superhero in the first place. Not by proving myself to them, but by doing things on my own terms. As we see him doing stuff in Haiti, helping people. The universe has a way of giving you opportunities to be the person you say you are. Turn around as you get that bomb far enough away. There's no time, Steve. This is the only way. Or in my case, to be the superhero I claim to be, as we see him as Cap. And the Avengers leader I was always destined to be, as we see him leading at pivotal points. Although my first experience as an Avenger created some internal turmoil for me at the time, it also pushed me to stand firm in my heart's conviction, which is an important bit. And as you enter the world, I hope you find it within yourselves to have faith in who you are and what you are capable of, no matter what circumstances make you feel otherwise. You have every right to be in the rooms you choose to enter. You are why I continue to pick up this shield. You are our future. You are worth all the effort to make this world one in which we all have a chance to prosper. I know with all my heart each of you will be incredible at whatever you do. Thank you, Cap. It was an honor, Ms. Humphrey. Maybe I'm not so bad at the whole speech thing. much rather be out in the field, as he gets pretty much a call. And we see that it is the Sam Wilson Auditorium, Harlem's very own Captain America. Oh, just like that, duty calls, and I'm more than happy to answer. So it was kind of cool to get him speaking and have him ruminating on the first time he was an Avenger and why he was there and all that. Next, we get the hero, as we see Steve ruminating on, he's like, why do people call me a hero? Because I was chosen for an experiment, that I can do things the average man can't. That doesn't make me a hero. That just makes me lucky. You remember what it was like, don't you? As we see that he was an artist, his head in drawings and doing all that kind of stuff, as his friends are like, that's really good, Stevie! Well, I guess it was my way to escape those tenement walls, to create a very personal vision of a better world, but the real world always had a way of intruding. We never seem to want for bullies, do we? As the bullies are picking on him and ripping up his stuff. In seats of power, in our own backyards, they're always there looking for someone smaller, weaker, to intimidate and control. And I was a perfect target. What was it my mom used to say? They like to play kick the can, Stevie, with you as the can. But get beat up enough and you develop survival skills. Mine was running. I wasn't a fighter or an athlete, but I was fast. Although I wasn't always fast enough, as they pretty much corner him, and then someone comes out and he tells him to get off of him, but they're like, mind your own business. That this kid was everything that he wasn't. I couldn't believe what I was seeing in about 2 minutes. That kid had them apologizing and swearing they'd never bother me again. They were lying, of course. He could have kept at it, really done some damage, but he was clearly strong enough, but he made a point and let them go. And then Steve's like, why'd you help me? I don't know, because it was the right thing to do, I guess. Name's Arnie. Arnie Roth. Steve Rogers. Just like that, we were friends. That's really kind of cool. Then we see them as friends. Odd pair, him, Steve, Irish Catholic, lost in his imagination, so frightened of the world, and Arnie, Jewish, tough and proud, always sticking up for the little guy. I guess you could say he fed me courage and I fed him dreams, and with my dad gone, my mom always working, the Ross became my second family. And things changed when they were teenagers. His mom died, he pulled away from Arnie, from everyone, and Arnie just seemed to get wilder, like he always trying to prove something. They ran into each other again right after the U.S. entered the war. Spent a night catching up. The change in me was drastic. He kept asking questions. I almost told him about Project Rebirth and Captain America. But we all have our secrets. Years passed, lifetimes, and one night a man appeared on my doorstep. I could have told him I couldn't possibly be the person he remembered from decades before. But how do you lie to your best friend? As they talk about everything. So he welcomed Arnie back into his life after coming back out from the ice, and that he shared they shared their secrets, that he was gay. He said, and I could see that he was waiting for judgment, perhaps condemnation, and how relieved he was when all I offered was acceptance. Yeah, cool Steve. And cool Arnie. He went on to tell me how difficult it had been for living the truth at a time when the world saw people like him as outcast pariahs, but Arnie done what he'd always done, battled his way through, found love with a good man named Michael. Unfortunately, friendship with Captain America proved to be dangerous things. Michael was killed, and Arnie, he went through hell at the hands of my enemies. But the same courage, the same incredible determination and compassion that inspired me when we were kids pulled him through. He worked at my side, lived life to the fullest, until cancer took him 7 years ago today. They say a man's true character reveals itself in the face of death. Arnie Roth met his end with bravery and a loving, open heart. I only hope I can do the same when my time comes. As we see that Steve's been narrating this at Arnie's grave. People call me a hero, but they never ask who my hero is. From the day you came charging into that alley and saved my scrawny butt, it's been you, Arnie. There couldn't be a Captain America without your example lighting the way. See you on the other side, old friend. I'm like, yeah, Steve would definitely do that for his friend. And this is cool, then and now, showcasing Steve popping up through the years of being from the Avengers, talking about the closing days of Steve disappearing, that changed when the Avengers found him deep below the North Sea, frozen in ice. Ever since that fateful day, I've marveled at the unique journey of Steve Rogers. Imagine going to your doom only to be revived years later to find that while the world triumphed over Hitler, it had not triumphed over war itself. Progress was made at the world nations tried to come together, but war continues to be a tragic part of the human condition, with immeasurable costs. And then him kind of like seeing all the stuff that had gone down, fighting some of the same heroes into the villains in the new era. And some of his old enemies survived, helped give him purpose as well. Nevertheless, so much time had passed and so much had changed that it could not have been easy. Showing him kind of dealing with a cell phone, and that being on the moon would be unthinkable. A computer in your pocket, as someone's like, hey, this is going on my Insta. It's like, yeah, totally get that. The sliding timeline and everything. On the other hand, I believe the wide array of societal changes were rather easy for Cat to accept. The concept of justice, equal opportunity, and access for everyone are core to who Captain America is. It meant that the world of his past, which almost burned in a blaze of hatred, had moved to a far better place. The struggles continue, but the progress is significant and undeniable. As we see him working with Sam, him telling about elected to the Supreme Court, even the presidency. The signs of changes are everywhere. Even Cap's beloved military reflected our evolution with Carol Danvers and the Air Force and all that. I have no doubt that Cap is heartened to know that the freedom, tolerance, and acceptance that he fought for is now widely evident. Yeah. And we see Cap with Spidey and everything, saying, nice work day, Cap. Want to grab a pizza? Sorry, I have dinner waiting for me, Spidey. What, you got a butler or something? As we see that they had webbed up fucking, the Leaper, Batroc. And then we see that this person is narrating it. Though the good captain came to accept much of what changed, his desire for the more personal aspects of his previous life endured. I strive to accommodate him, for serving a man of Captain America's stature is a true honor, especially when those accommodations are so easy. Is the Andrews Sisters? Is that the Andrews Sisters? I hear, Jarvis. I find their music to be an appropriate match for tonight's dinner, sir. Cream chip beef, mashed potatoes, green peas, pickled beets, my kind of chow. I believe the eggplant with goat's cheese, olives, and capers that Miss Romanoff requested would not meet your liking, sir. Nice that you know my limits, Jarvis. Thank you. It is my honor to be recognized. My honor to recognize that while you might be able to take the man out of the 1940s, of course, sir, you need not take the 1940s out of the man. And I love that. I love that it's a Jarvis thing of him talking about Steve like that. That's fucking awesome, and I'm glad that we have Jarvis around. And I love the art. I love the art style for all of these little things. And then we see the mantle as Steve and Sam are like doing stuff like, you keeping up, old man? Where I'm standing, that makes us about even. See, you've gotten used to the weight, something like that. Though I think it's always going to be heavy. Yeah, that never goes away. No idea how you managed carrying it around all by yourself. Trust me, I didn't exactly love the pressure, but there was just so much going on. Didn't really have time to dwell on it, I suppose, even if I was a nervous wreck on the inside. You, on the other hand, I've seen you in the field, and you're already leagues ahead of me. Man, what are you talking about? I thought this thing would crush me at any second. You might not be aware, Steve, but you cast one hell of a long shadow, and I love how they're talking about this. Bucky might have mentioned it a time or two. As time went by, I started to realize part of legacy is adding your own story. We certainly won't be the last Captains America, exactly. Not if I have any say, and I'm sure every single new cap that's added will have the same thoughts and fears. Yeah, it's like, this isn't an end. We'll always see other ones. These might be the ones that we connect with most, but there'll always be other ones as well. Honestly, I got no idea how T'Challa does this whole legacy thing, or Shuri for that matter. Shaw, just setting the bar high for you. And I love the style of this. And then talking about the only thing I loved more than drawing was stopping bullies, which might have been for the best, because I'm better with this thing than I ever was with a pencil. Don't sell yourself short. I saw myself in you, Steve. Still do. And now, kids who look like me can see me carrying the shield and see themselves too. Now who's showing off? Heh, you just set a high bar is all. Sam, I don't need to say this, because you don't need to hear it. But I'm an old man with a soft heart, so I'm going to say it anyway. You're a damn good Captain America, and I'm lucky to share the mantle with you. Thank you, Steve. But with that said, the Cap who hits the fewest targets buys dinner. Get ready to run your card, Grandpa. It's like, this is just, I just love this, because it shows the camaraderie with them, and them wielding the shields together, and wielding the mantle of Captain America together. It's great. And then we shift to this one lucky shot, and it's like, ah, shit, this is a nice little story. As they say, shoot him, it's like, ah, and we're in Calliope Park, New York City, coldest day of the year, saying, I got him, did you see that? I killed Captain America. You got one lucky shot, Travis, quit crowing. He went under the ice. Do you see him? He's got to be dead, right? Anyone see the shield? Where it went? And we see this kid find it and run off with it. It's like, there you go, kid. I swear, it was here a minute ago. Marky's place. The gang will know what to do. Marky, Captain America wants to see you. He was a lot taller in the war, Cap. No way, no way. As he takes it to the kids, and these kids, I love this because a lot of people are like, oh, Captain America's an old one. Nobody really likes Cap, but I like that the MCU and comics, like, there are kids that identify with Captain America. They're like, it's the shield. We're not going to sell it, Tiger. And they're like, we should eBay it, right? We're not going to sell it. Hell no. We ain't. It's Cap's shield. We got to get it to Iron Man or something. It's like, yes, kids, these are thinking it. Keska's right. We can't keep it. It belongs to everyone. It belongs to the world. Exactly. And then before they give it up, they're like playing around with it, which I would get. Maybe before we can pretend to be Cap a little bit. Listen to me, Agent Travis. You find that shield, or I'll bury you myself. I don't care. I don't care if someone took it. You have an hour. You don't think Cap really is? No way. No way. We've all lost someone. We can't lose him. Sorry, kid. I took him out myself. Now I'm going to take that shield. Maybe, mister, or maybe we get one lucky shot of our own. You'd miss, kid, and then you'd be gone. Maybe, or maybe you get a flying manhole cover to your cranium. Agent Travis, as we see the kids like standing up to them, it's like, yeah, welcome to Brooklyn, as Cap comes and punches the Hydra agent. Fuck yeah. Cap, hey kids, thanks for taking care of her for me. You'd make pretty good Avengers someday, I bet. And damn straight, too. Calliope Park Avengers Assemble. I'm like, yeah! Because I like that kind of working around of like the 50 state initiatives of like Avengers teams everywhere. That needs to be going down. Cap, my grandma could make you some hot chocolate if you want. You're all frozen in ice. It's okay, son. I've had worse. You had the frozen, but can't say no to some hot chocolate. And that's the end. And now we look forward to Captain America finale to deal with the fallout of the Outer Circle. So, I enjoyed this one because I liked the introspection and understanding. I really like them looking into Sam and Steve in these ones and linking it up with Jarvis as well. It's always good to see Jarvis pop up. I want to see him pop up some more. Steve ruminating on his friend, his inspiration, and then the kids showing how important Cap is to heroes, to kids as heroes, as a hero, and how he saved them, and how they're like, yeah. So, and I really liked seeing Sam's journey to picking up the shield again, and his inner turmoil with it, and being like, yeah, you might have to give up the shield again at some point, because you're going to reach that kind of limit point. We'll have to see how that works out, but like, because Steve's done it, Bucky's done it, all those that have done Captain America have done it at certain points, but you can come back and you can help out, because even the thing that makes a good Captain America is that they're willing to help people. And then even if they don't have the shield, they will come and help people. And even if they can barely lift it, they will come and help people. And that's what makes Steve and Sam great at it. And I liked seeing them with it. But I think that as this Milestone issue, they should have looked into other ones and linked up with other ones as well for Cap's history. The Symbol of Truth link up was working more for a prologue thing, which explained this issue, the series that we got. The one with Roger Aubrey's funeral, I liked Roger Aubrey, and I liked to have a funeral kind of bit for him, but I think that would have fit more within the Cold War event, and especially definitely within the finale. So it taking up the kind of bulk and having the weirdness with Steve and Bucky was just like, okay, mainly just because of the weirdness of the story that we have had so far with the balancing of it. So I can't wait to get back to a better kind of status quo with Steve and Bucky. But overall, I enjoyed this. Even though it didn't fit my exact specifications for a Milestone, I still think it was pretty good. And if it being at $7.99, kind of linking closer to the kind of numbering of 750. So if you're a Cap fan, and definitely specifically Steve and Sam fan, I would definitely recommend it. If not, if you're like, that's too much, and all the stuff that I showed and talked about didn't fit your cup of tea, I completely understand that. But I enjoyed this and can't wait to see the finale. I wanted to see how that's tied up, and of course when we get the new series in September. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.